Hi, in this video, we'll look at a template to write product requirement documentation, which is a very important task that a product manager has to do. So we'll discuss certain problems or certain question that a PRD should solve, and we'll also take one example. So very basically, the purpose of PRD is to explain what is the problem you are tackling, and also talk about the solution that you are thinking, right? And we'll also take one example. So let's talk about problem. And sometimes is that we mostly remain in the solution space. I think this problem solution space now is very clear, but for PMs, it's very important to start with the problem, or anyone who wants to develop good products has to start with problem. So start with, like, what is the problem you are trying to solve, right? There always has to be a problem. Maybe it can be a business problem or a customer problem, but more times there has to be a very defined problem that feature needs to solve, right? We are not in the business of solving creating these features. We are in the business of solving problems. So start with the problem. uh, what is the problem? Like, how do you know that it is a problem, right? It should not be a hunch. Do you have any data supporting it, or any customer has told you, right? Very clear data, which sort of gives you the evidence that there is a problem. It's not something, just a hunch, right? Then third part is, how big is the problem, right? So this will help you to really prioritize whether you want to work on this problem right now, or you want to work, like, what can be the impact of this, right? So you can work on many different problems. Why this problem is very important, right? And why a team needs to work on this. And then fourth is the like a product outcome that you think this feature will, uh, or solving this problem will drive, right? And yeah, so start with the problem. What is the problem? How do you know? Some evidence, some data that you have collected. How big is the problem? Like, try to quantify. Like, if we solve this problem by building this feature. So till now I've not talked about the feature at all, which is a part of the solution, right? But as a product manager, you always have to really identify and define the problems, and really talk about the problems which are there. And once the problem is totally, you are convinced that this is a problem, there is supporting evidence. You also, like, size the problem. You know the impact of solving this problem will be, say, X dollars, or maybe sometimes it's not directly business impact, but maybe a product impact. You are chasing certain product outcomes, right? So product outcome means your product helps the user to do 10 things. So one of those things, it is driving. Like for Facebook, you can post something, you can talk to your friends, you can watch videos. So which of the product outcome this solving this problem is driving? Now let's talk about the solution, which is more obvious. And once the problem is really understood, then solution becomes very easy. And solution is somewhere where it's more collaborative. Of course, in problem also, you can take help from your engineer, from your designer. But problem, mostly PM sort of really, you can say, this is also called the discovery part, right? This discovery, mostly PM does it, and the designer does it. But solution, which is the, like, the delivery, right? Or not even delivery, I will say, like, just definition of the solution, what is possible, that is more done with in collaboration with the designer, right, and the developers or the engineers. So starting the solution, like, what is the, like, core functionality of this, right, of this feature. Now you have to come to the specific. What is the core functionality? What are the constraints? If there are any constraint, like, who can use this feature? Only these kind of users can use this feature. Maybe when we'll talk about certain examples, then you will know different controls of the feature, right? Say a simple feature we will talk about is like WhatsApp status, right? So who can view the status, who can post the status, those kind of things. Another framework which helps in this solution part is the CRUD framework, which is the create, read, update, delete. So how does the creation work? How does the deletion work? And can I update a status, post a status, right? So solution part is still, I would say, is the more concrete, but as a product manager you should really understand like what are the solution, what is the, all the parameters of the solution. The design and the UI is also very important, right? In solution, like how will it look, right? And yeah, another thing very important in the solution is the measurements, like how will you measure that this solution is good, right? Solution is good means it solution is solving the problem, right? So the problem was X, how many users actually used, so that is the usage, and how many people were satisfied, how many users were satisfied, right? So obviously it will not be always 100% people will use a feature, but say 10% people used it, and out of those 10, what is the satisfaction? That means you are really, you have really achieved your objective. If you have not achieved the objective, then the satisfaction level will be low, or most of the issues which happen with features are there's a very low usage. We have also seen there's so many apps we use, the usage is very low, right, of most of the feature. So yeah, in the solution part you to talk about the core functionality, different controls or constraints. I think this can be one part, right? And also talk about some privacy or those kind of security kind of things as well. Another important thing is sometimes people write the release plan also here in the solution. If it is more project management, but in sometimes product managers also have to do, will it be a phased released, or will it be uh, like a release to all users at one time, right? Some feature flagging, etc. Also is done, right now. Let's take one example. uh, Example can be the one I was just sharing, is WhatsApp status. This is a very important feature, or very common feature. That's why I took this example. Everyone knows this feature. Now let's try to answer all these question for this, right? What is the problem this is solving, right? Very important. Problem is, and I'm like just guessing, I don't know like exactly this was the thought behind the people who sort of decided to build this, but if I just try to understand it, is I think one too many conversation. So it's very tough to have like one-on-one. I can send message, but if I want to broadcast anything, right, to all my contact, is difficult, right? There is a broadcast feature. I have not never used it, but they sort of tried to make it more like a social media kind of like a Facebook kind of a feature, where I want to have conversation with many, or like one user wants to have conversation with everyone, or not a conversation, just want to share something, right? Currently, if there is just one-on-one chat or there is a group, I cannot do it. So it's a problem for me. And also I think it was more of a product problem also, that engagement might be less, right? uh, so they wanted to increase the engagement of people with the app, right? Currently people were just sending one-on-one message or were talking in groups, but they were not talking, just broadcasting their statuses, or some message they want to share, right? Some photos. Now how big is the problem, right? um, so here I think they would have done some surveys, or they would have just talked to users, really trying to understand how many users feel this way. So maybe say 5% of the users we talk to feel that, okay, this is a problem, that when I want to share with everyone in my contact list, I cannot share. And basis that they could come up with some impact of this feature. Like if we really solve this feature, what is going to be the impact? So if 5% people really felt this problem, maybe they'll use it. And even if 5% people you know 5% users use it, then also there can be a good amount of like a rise in the um, uh, rise in the engagement, because once I post a status, the other people can look at it. It's both phase, right? So there is somebody, a poster, and there is a viewer. So it's not only that even 5% people view, the engagement will be of those increase will be only of those 5% people who view also, right? People who post and people who view, both will get more engagement, right? And what product outcome this is driving is engagement. And since WhatsApp is more of a free product, so there's not much of a business context here. Now let's come to the solution. I think solution part is easier, right? First we need to have to define WhatsApp status feature, where people can users can share their photos, videos, etc., right? And then certain sub points of the feature, or sub constraints, or controls, like fee like status will be available only for 24 hours, right? uh, right. And then users can hide the status from few people, like, or can only show it to few, like this kind of more constraints or controls of that feature is there. Then we have to talk about the design, right? So in the design, there will be a button to post the status, and there will be a button to view the status, or like a tab to view the status, etc. We all know like how the UI of that status works. What else? Create, read, update, delete. I think that we have discussed. I should be able to delete the feature. I should be able to create, and update is not there. Just create, read, update, delete. And I think privacy, etc. That we can privacy we have already talked. My security, we can say this is very common. It should be end-to-end encryption, right? And measurement. So how will you measure that this feature is sort of helpful, right? So you can measure uh, how many users are posting, and did it really help you increase the lift, right? So initially we said that it might help 5% of the people. So did it really help the how many percent people are posting, right? So did it increase? So this measurement will also help you really understand whether it was successful or not. And you can also have some way to capture user feedback, right? uh, about satisfaction. So you want to know, like, if you posted the feature, now how do you feel? It was the experience good, and people who are viewing, do they really like the feature, or it is not very useful for them, right? And I think that's it. Release plan also you can add. Mostly it's phased release is something which is recommended, because you want to see test on a first a smaller audience, and then go for the big launch, right? So yeah, this is it. I think a small template, and a very I would say nothing very complicated. Talk about the problem, really understand what is the problem you are trying to solve, and have some data. Don't go by hunch. Have some very concrete data, or a good hypothesis. Sometimes there is no data for certain things, but good to have data which sort of helps you remove the bias. Also quantify the problem. How big is the problem? And okay, the problem is there, but does it fit in your product, right? Does it really help you improve the area of the product you want to improve, right? There can be hundreds of good problems, but really helps in what you want to achieve, and this maybe you know ties in the like longer term vision for your product, right? If it's not there, then there is no point. Of course, then solution, you have to go in all in. What are the functionality, what are the different controls or the sub features, right? How can I create that feature, delete. Privacy, security is very important, design is very important here. Of course, you will have to take help from your designer, right? And come up with a good mock-up or details on how the design will look. Measurement is also very important, again going back to being more data driven, right? So here, how will you measure it, and being very objective about it, right? You said 5% people will post. Now if after 1 month you want to know how many people daily post, right? If 100 people visit the app, how many people really posted the status, right? It did 5% people posted, or it was not. So usage is not there. Even the people who have posted, were they really satisfied, or was it just a good to have for them, like they didn't really like it? And this is more on the project management side. So yeah, this is it. Try it out. Let me know your sort of comments about it, and yeah, for more such videos, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.